Welcome back everyone to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a unique subject, certainly for this channel. I'm not necessarily a news channel. However, I do cover entertainment. I'm a filmmaker. I've been doing this for over a decade. And Hollywood is and has been the main stomping ground for movies being made since they were made. Last 100 years, this has been the place. And what's happening in California, if you're maybe living under a rock and you don't know, is a huge portion of LA is on fire. Now, I'm not talking the majority of LA, but I'm talking about some major swaths of land to the west and to the northeast of LA are legitimately on fire right now. Let's go over to, this is fire.airnow.gov. And we can just see massive swaths of fire, okay? This right here is in the Palisades, and this right here is over 17,000 acres that are burning currently. And the more active fire is kind of these red dots, and all of this browned out area is what has already been burned. And normally I think what happens is probably wind is sweeping off of the coast and just continually pushing that fire back farther and farther and farther. This is a massive amount of land, y'all. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of homes lost. They evacuated a long time ago. I'm praying that not too many people stayed in their homes. It would be extremely foolish to be in this area at any capacity right now. It's very, very dangerous. You know, wildfires are not just out of control fires. The actual definition, to my understanding, is it is a fire that is so hot that it burns up the oxygen around it. So that's how they spread so fast. So when they're moving through wind pushing them or what have you, they literally are consuming the oxygen in the area, eating everything up, and they catch plants and debris and houses on fire extremely fast because of how hot they actually are. They're literally so hot they catch the atmosphere on fire around them. Obviously, if you're in this area, there's major warnings on unhealthy air because there's so much debris in the air right now. So this is at a 168, but if we head over to the northeast, some of these darker areas are, 372, 789. I mean, this air quality is so dangerous to be breathing in, guys. This will sear your lungs. This will really damage your lungs. So California is in crisis right now. Look, there's a lot of rumors going around. I'm not going to claim to say that I know exactly how the fire started. I do have a couple of opinions on what I've heard, but right now there's just no way for us to know. I'm praying that the truth comes out as this happens and as we get updates in real time. However, I do want to show you some interesting things that I think will be kind of prophetic and I think really important for the film industry, because the film industry is kind of my focus, certainly for my channel, but just in my life in general. My purpose is being in the film industry and basically creating great entertainment that is bringing us back to a place of quality and of having heart and good storytelling, and also changing the way movies are made. And more updates on that later. But the point is, y'all, is that there's over 11,000 acres that have burned over here and about 18,000 here. So back of the napkin math, that is nearly 30,000. Yes, 30,000 acres. Look at this, 17,234. And this has not been updated for many hours. It's larger than that now. What I do want to show you is some pictures and some videos. If you look at this on X, Elon Musk posted this yesterday night. And the devastation in these absolutely gorgeous areas is monumental. The entire coastline is burning down, and this is one of the most beautiful coastlines, one of the most beautiful roads in the world, and it's just being eaten alive by wildfires. Now, let's just watch this Joe Rogan clip really quick before I go to the next piece, but I just want to look at this. This is very, very interesting, y'all. Very, very interesting. This was July 19th, 2024. Let's just listen to Joe.
To a fireman once. This is one of the reasons that freaked me out. And he was telling me, he goes, dude, one day He goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean, and there's not a fucking thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes,
So I think there's some truth in that. I think the winds absolutely blow the fire around. But I also know that this is something that is preventable. And there are people out there that have the ability to prevent it. And what they do, just so everybody knows before we look at this next thing, what they do to prevent this is they'll burn a swath of land that will be a cutoff zone for the fire. So as the fire consumes vegetation, houses, you name it, as it pushes, up past the coastline or whatever, if you burn a swath of land out, the fire will have no more fuel and it will just eat itself up. It'll disappear after a little while because it's got nowhere else to go. And these controlled burn zones, they happen all over the country. They happen all over the world. Trudeau failed to do this in Canada. They had major wildfires up in Canada. And Newsom and this fire chief, who's the newly elected fire chief, I know it was very recent, so I'm not saying this is all her fault. But these fire chiefs, the one before her was a female, and she's a female. And the top priority at the Los Angeles Fire Department is DEI right now. I just want to focus in on that for a second. The top priority, or a top priority, is diversity, equity, and inclusion, which has nothing to do with fighting fires. Nothing. Your number one priority should be fire prevention. That way nobody dies, nothing bad happens to your state. Yet the top priority you're focused on right now is talking about your sexuality. This is disgusting, and it is ruining every part of our society. Now, I know that's a strong statement, but hear me out, guys. Newsom and these fire chiefs have been told to do controlled burns around this area for years, and they refuse to take the initiative and spend the money to do it. As a matter of fact, Newsom has defunded the fire department in Los Angeles. Let's look at another few key facts, which I think are very, very interesting around this time. Another thing that they've done is stopped using their fire hydrants, so much so that you can pull them off the ground and sell them for scrap metal, which is happening in Los Angeles. The only way you could do that is if they shut off the water. So they're shutting off the water to fire hydrants. They're defunding the fire department, and there's reports that people are lighting fires in these areas, and they're doing nothing to prevent it. So now, go down the rabbit hole with me for a second, and let's just think critically. There's been arsonists that have been seen doing this, okay? Now, love him or hate him, Alex Jones recently reported arsonists confirmed to be setting fires across Los Angeles. Now, I know he does not get 100% of things right, but Alex Jones has been right the vast majority of the times he says something, even if it's super outlandish. 10, 15 years later, we all find out, wow, this guy had insider information. He was 100% correct. So look, he may not be right about everything, but I believe that's very strong evidence. And if you watch his broadcast, I'm not going to bring it up. If you watch his broadcast, you'll see. They have pictures of these people. They have video surveillance of these people setting fires and running away. You can't really argue very much with video and photo evidence from multiple sources. So arsonists are confirmed? Yeah, probably. I also think it's really interesting that insurance companies pulled fire insurance out of this area just last year. I also think it's very interesting that there's no water sources that can put out the fires because they turned off all the water to these fire hydrants. I also think it's very interesting that the fire chief's top priority right now, one of her top priorities, is DEI. And they've also been told to do these controlled burn areas for the last 3-4 years so that we stop the wildfires in California. Do y'all get it? Do y'all see kind of what's happening? Do y'all see why I'm getting involved, even though I'm a movie guy? They're destroying California. They're creating chaos. Now, here's the last thing. What ties it all to the entertainment industry? Hollywood is right in this area, okay? This right here, this whole zone is where the Hollywood sign is. Let's look at it on the map here. This sunset fire. Get out of here. No. Hollywood sign. Where is it? Right there. Bada bing, bada boom. So the Hollywood sign is right there. Here's the Palisades fire, and here's the Eaton fire, and the sunset fire. The Hollywood sign is dead smack dead in the middle. And for years, as Hollywood has been failing, and we've talked about this, I'm not going to go into it on this video, but as it's been trending down and studios have been losing tons of money, there's been photos of the Hollywood sign burning, literally being on fire. Now, they're AI generated, they're not real. But just yesterday, I saw the prophecy of that coming true. And this whole ridgeline up here was smoking. Let's actually look at it. Hollywood sign on fire. Let's go to images. These are fake images, okay? That's not real. However, there has been fires. You can see this right here. LA fires approach Hollywood sign. This is the top of the ridgeline for the Hollywood sign, and they're dropping water on it. Literally, the Hollywood sign was a few 100 feet, maybe 100 feet from being ablaze. And I think that these are prophetic, and I think they're symbolic. Yes, we know that this one's not real. However, this is real. This is real. The Hollywood sign is right down this ridgeline. And they had to put a fire out. I saw massive smoke plumes and fire coming off there on a video that I saw earlier today that was live from CBS News. So this is real, y'all. This is actually happening. And you know, for someone who is a believer in Jesus Christ, who I serve him, I'm his son, I'm his friend. Prophetically, I've been speaking over the industry for many years that it is going to crumble, it's going to fall apart. And I think this is a physical sign of the spiritual things that are happening behind the scenes. That is my honest opinion about this. I think there are bad actors in play that are causing these things to happen. However, I do think that prophetically, we cannot ignore that this has been talked about for a long time and has been spoken into existence and is being fully realized in the physical world right now. You can take that for whatever you need to take it for. But listen, y'all, Hollywood physically is burning to the ground. And I think what we're going to see is in 2025, a major shift of which I am a part of. So I will talk more about that in the near future. There's a major shift in Hollywood. There's a major shift in the world. Things have to change, and they are starting to change in a very dramatic and drastic way. We've seen multiple terrorist attacks, fires in California, and just tons of horrible things that are happening right now. So hang tight. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. I could talk more about this, but I think I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and this may get taken down on YouTube, so follow me on Rumble. It's the best place to find me. We'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.